Hello again, everyone. Edwin Lord back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about the transit Sun conjunct one's natal black moon Lilith. Now, when we're talking about transits of the Sun astrology, it can be about our focus, our attention, our concentration of energy. Since this involves the contact of the black moon Lilith, this could manifest in a very strong focus, attention, and concentration of energy. It could be on some kind of suffering. If it's in Taurus, say, it could be due to some, maybe someone's value system or monetary situation. Um, it could be due to maybe even due to one's greed to some degree. Uh, it could be perhaps maybe lack of persistence or perseverance in a situation, sexual abuse in some isolated cases. It could be, sometimes this could be about rape. It could be, sexual misconduct, not necessarily by the person in question in this own person's chart, but it could be that maybe they were subject to sexual abuse by somebody else or sexual misconduct from another person. I'm going to talk about it's a good example, but a sad one later on near the end of the video. I'm going to talk about that. Could also be where this shines, where the light is shining, where there's a focus on, it could be the dark side of an individual. If it's in Capricorn, say, it might have to do with some maybe very cold, callous, or tyrannical side. If it's in the fourth house, it could be toward family members, or it might even be some experience of something that they, energy they received by a prominent family member or someone they were close to home with. It could be also too, or even, Black Moon Lilith and Capricorn may also be, maybe there's some sorrow or difficulty in lack of ambition or business acumen, and this is where the light, basically shining on this at this time. Now, the Black Moon Lilith in astrology is also about the very strong negative manifestation of the sign that it's in. If somebody has this in Leo, it could be somebody that's it basically could be a glory hound. It could be somebody overly domineering, egotistical, arrogant. It could shine the light on that of that individual. It could be something too. The Black Moon Lilith in astrology also can be associated with a formidable adversary. It could be somebody that simply plays a prominent role in one's life scheme, but it could also be somebody that could be very, very dangerous, powerful enemy. And it could be about where that focus is on this point in time. If somebody has their natal Black Moon Lilith in their 12th house in their natal chart, and you have this transit of the Sun hitting it, it could shine the light on one enemy that was hidden for some time. And it's also something, what you don't want, unveiled or exposed at this time, or what you don't want to come out that you might have strongly tried to conceal and suppress. And when you're looking at an energy like this, say somebody has their Black Moon Lilith in Pisces, it could be some issue with drugs or some chemical assimilation or alcohol. Maybe there was some duplicity, like say if you have somebody has the Black Moon Lilith in Pisces in their 8th house, it could be over something fraudulent connected with maybe insurance, or it could be evasion of taxes. Maybe somebody didn't want this to come out, and it's a time where sadly it may come out. And this is also when we're talking about this as well, Black Moon Lilith is connected with abuse, and again, going back, it could be physical abuse, it could be rape, sexual abuse, it could be verbal abuse. If somebody has this in Gemini, say they have it in Gemini in the 7th house, it could be some kind of verbal abuse, and maybe from a marriage partner, a significant other. 7th house could even be a grandmother. It could be somebody that they're in some business partnership with. Also, too, when we're talking about the transit sun conjoining one's natal black moon, the sun can be about our drive and motivation. So this could be a time where one may be driven and motivated toward expressing a very strong erotic sexual nature. Now, say, as an example, if this is in Gemini, this transit, it could be a very strong sexual desire, perhaps for younger people in Taurus. It may just be very sensual, demonstrative, erotic energy. Leo could be very loud and dominant, to uh, say the absolute least. And at this time too, when you have this transit, it could shine the light, so to speak, again on a formidable adversary, very powerful enemy. Say if it's in Scorpio as an example, it may be a Scorpio Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Scorpio traits or characteristics. It might be somebody that's very sadistic or vengeful, vindictive, a person that might have very obsessive qualities. I would say to the Black Moon Lilith, I mean, could also be connected with stalkers. This is kind of, I mean, Black Moon Lilith is is a lot like, as far as planets in astrology, it's comparable to, I would say, Pluto. So in some cases, this could be, focus on a stalker in some situations. Stalking, and I know in the United States at least, I've seen different. I think there were varying reports that they said like one had like say 6 million people were stalking the United States every year. Then I think another one said like 3 million or something. But this is but it is very prevalent. So in a lot of cases, and somebody has this transit, they need this could kind of put the light on that situation. If you are a person that you were suspicious that you were being stalked, this could be the time where this person may be exposed. Remember that the sun is also could be about authority of people, so it could be where the law could even catch up with this person at this point in time or near this point in time. But anyway, now another thing too is that the sun astrology can also be associated with a biological father, children. So this could be a time where one or more of these people may unveil something about yourself you wanted concealed. Say if this is in Taurus, it could be some nefarious activity with money, or maybe you find out that they're involved in something that might be very nefarious or corrupt, or something that had been hidden about them maybe comes to light at this point in time. Now, if we're looking at this as well, and the thing about it is, again, this could really just shine the light on some negative characteristics associated with the sign. Going back to Taurus, again, that could be associated with nefarious activity with money. It could be, some some greed, being greedy, avaricious, overly grudge holding. We're talking about the sun in astrology could also be about when we become really more conscious or cognizant, which is the sun, becoming more conscious of something, more cognizant of some energy, being more cognizant of what's not there, where there's a void. The black moon rules can be about what might be lacking. It could be a void in one's life. If this is in Libra, say, it could be the lack of a social life, maybe some inability to ingratiate the self with others in relationships, trying to find peace and tranquility in one's life. That could be where this may be exposed at this time, whether you really wanted it or not, or maybe it's where you might become more conscious and cognizant of it, where it might come to light, for you at this time. Now, also too, looking at the transit out, this could also be in some isolated cases, maybe some dark issues with an eye, because remember that the sun rules either the left or the right eye depending on gender. And the dark and black moon rules it really is about its darkened energy. Now, I knew someone, a prominent family member, that had a very loose conjunction with the black moon Lilith, to her natal sun, and she stated she had night blindness. And keep in mind that the black moon wolf again can darken things. You have it in Scorpio. I mean, the transit in Scorpio especially, I mean, I know I'm talking about the person having the natal placement, but I would say this could apply in a transit as well. Scorpio is about the night. I mean, it is about darkness. So she has it not only, in the loose conjunction, but has it in the sign that's associated with darkness and night. So anyway, now another thing too, if this is, I want to talk about, hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, the thing too is I would call what a very infamous moment of place. Somebody had this transit, very sad, and something that would make a lot of people feel very despondent, melancholy, including myself to some degree. On March 16th, 1991, there was a woman named, young lady, 15 years old, Jessica Keene. She was raped, and she was killed on this day. At that time, she had the transit sun. It was in Pisces, making a conjunction to her natal black moon wolf in Pisces. The sun, the thing about this is that remember that the sun is about dominance. This was a time where somebody showed their dominance, a male tried to at least dominate her to some degree, we could say, through force and will, and raped her. And to me, it was to satisfy some sexual fantasy. Being in Pisces is no surprise, it was something fantastical nature. For this I believe it was to. It wouldn't surprise me if it was connected with that. Given that it was in Pisces, and the black moon wolf, of course, is nefarious energy. When you have the transit sun hitting it, I mean, it does increase the chance of a person succumbing to some kind of sexual abuse. And this was a male at the time that that showed dominance, sadly, through raping, sadly, this person, and through raping Jessica Keene. And she also perished on this day as well by this person. And keep in mind too that the sun in astrology is about life. The black moon little sometimes can darken that. And this was an ending to life that was obviously dark indeed. This was something. She died sadly in it was in a graveyard. And interestingly enough, according when I watched the show about the television episode about this, was on Investigation Discovery. I think it may have been Dead Silent. I can't remember if that was the name of the show or not. But the thing was, it looked like the conditions were very foggy and misty. And interestingly enough, Pisces is associated with fog and mist. And the thing about it, and also Pisces can be connected with things that are unclear and obscure. On the show, on the episode, it appeared, if I remember correctly, when she tried to get away from the subductor, or whatever you would call him, the rapist user, she took off and looked like she she ran into a fence because it was very dark, and the foggy conditions probably did not help matters, and she looked like she had bounced off the fence, and then the guy got her and killed her. And the thing is, it was something where she obviously, maybe she did not, I think she probably didn't see the fence, or likely didn't see it, and that's why she ran into it. And Pisces is about energy that is unseen, sadly, and in this case, it could have played a role in her passing. So that's basically what I wanted to get at as far as this goes, and anybody that thinks the black moon wolf is anything insignificant just because it's not a planetary body, it's not an object, it's not tangible, it's not some physical. Black moon wolf is still very significant point in astrology. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Lawrence, and stay well.